welcome to Workiom. In this short video, I'm going to show you one of our most popular templates in Workiom, which is Editorial Calendar. It's a very simple one, but very effective, and a lot of our customers have used it and, of course, add their own fields to it. This is specifically useful if you are running a marketing activity and you have content production and you would like to organize this for your whole team. Basically, this is a very specific type of task management. We have 4 different type of entities and data that we are dealing with. So let me show you how this looks like in a diagram. Here we have the content that is created by one writer only. A writer, of course, can create many contents. A content also could be addressed multiple personas, and one single persona could be addressed by simple contents. And we also have keywords, multiple keywords for multiple content. So let's move now and see how this looks on Workiom. We have this for 4 different lists. The first one is the content that we actually are working on and we are planning for. So basic fields. We have the title, the status, that is one of these. Idea, assigned, in progress, review, published, and promoted. You can change them, add or remove some of them. This is specifically useful also for building a Kanban board. So as you see here, we can arrange our blogs and content based on the status in which they are, and it's very easy and self-intuitive. All you do is you can drag and drop and move it from one state to another, back to the grid to see the rest of the fields. We have also publication date, and this is useful for plotting on calendar. So you can see here we have all our content for this month plotted by the date of their either planned or previous publication, and color coded by their status. We can easily, change the date of the publication by drag and drop, and this is, save you a lot of time. Also allows you to have an abstract view. Back to the grid. So here we have writer. Writer is actually linked to the writers list. We can have only one writer. So if you choose to add another one, you're actually going to have an error. See, or it replace it actually. If I want to assign it back to Sinan, then all I have to do is this. Now, this is just to show that there's a one-to-end relationship. For the personas, you can add as many as you like. So let's say startup here, or you can create a new one. So you can, for example, say Asian digital transformation. So, and same goes for keywords. You can add as many keywords as you like. So, for example, let's look here at the title. You can enlarge by double click. It's very similar to Excel sheets. So the most annoying problems of CRM programs and how to deal with them. So here, one keyword is CRM, and here you can say CRM solutions, for example, and this is how easy. Sorry. CRM solutions, and just make sure that you actually click on create to be added. And here you can add images that would be associated to your article. Finally is a publication link. This is straightforward. This is where your asset has been published at the end of your process. So the personas is a simple list consisted of name and description, in which you can add as many as you like. Same goes for the keywords. And for writers, as we chose in this example to create them as a list, but you can be as a user. So let's have some fun. And for example, okay, I would like to add a user type. So writer and I'm just gonna say system. So this will actually enable us to have the user type, and I will put it just next to the writer. Okay, great. And back here to this, to the list, make sure that it's next to it as well. So writer system, and here it is. So here I actually can only choose one of the actors. So here I have the three. I'm going to just put Sinan for the fun of it, and this will be extremely helpful when I work with automation. So let's go to automation, and there is many things we can do right in this kind of setup. So one of this setups that we can say that notify writer on creation. So here we can say record created on content continue, and I say notify user. So basically the one that will be notified here is the dynamic, which is the writer in this case, and I will say a new task has been assigned to you. So I can be a little bit more creative. I can say, for example, instead of a new task has been assigned to you, I can say a new article entitled, and open two brackets, say title has been assigned to you on, and I will add creation date, for example. So this will allow me to have some fun with it. Done. So let's see how this works in real life. So back into the content, I will assign this to me again, and just make sure you see this record has been assigned to you. This is an automatic notification. So I can also review all notifications that I receive here in the notification view, in which I can have this a list of all the notification I had over the system, over this application. So this record for benefits has been assigned to you. This is exactly what happened. I can archive it, and then of course later on see them in details. So let's go back now to my calendar, and let's do something a little bit more complicated. So let's say that I'm not taking consideration this user system, but I have this writer list. So I want to have the email of the writer on the same list, because it will allow me to use it in an automation to send them an email further in the future. So let's say here I'm going to just create this writer email. So we already have this information in the writer lists. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a simple lookup, and here I will choose writer, and the lookup will be in this case email. So the information will come automatically without having me to repeat it each time. So here I'm just going to put it next to it. Go back here, and you see I have all the emails that has been inserted on their own without me having to do any kind of inserts. So for the sake of this example, I'm going to create a new automation, and this time I would say send email on assignment. At this time I will say record created, same goes for content, continue, and this, instead of notify, I will say send email, and it will be sent to the writer email. I can then add a subject. So here, hey writer, a new task has been assigned to you. And then the message body. So remember, this is an HTML, so you can have a lot of it, fun of it. You can have your own HTML builder. We are planning on the future to add a rich text formatting, but for the time being, this allows you to have a lot of liberty. So I would just say, hey, writer. Okay, sorry. Okay, here it is. Guess what? You've got job. And here, of course, I shouldn't be forgetting to add any of my brackets. Make sure that is actually working. And that's it. And that's it. So this will automatically be triggered on a new record creation. And or I could do something a little bit, smarter. Depends really on what you're looking at. I can say value changed, and we say when the writer is selected, when there's a change in the writer, then you can send an email. What else can we do? So one thing that a lot of our clients ask for is also to have a time trigger. So basically, you have, back to the content, you have the publication date, and we'll do a little bit fun with it. So we're going to add two fields. I will call the first one duration, which is actually, the number of days that you need to finish this article. And I will add another one, which is, critical start date. This will be a date field, but a computed one from the publication date minus the duration. Save. So this automatically, if I add here now, so I'll go to the duration, and let's say let's take one of these that hasn't been published yet, and I would say this needs like 4 days. You've seen that the date has been changed to the 22nd to the 18th. So this is fun, but let's push it a little bit further. And here in automation, I'm going to say create a new automation and say critical date reminder. And here we say time trigger, and I will go to the content, choose the time field, critical start date, and the offset is the same. And simply here I will add a new condition and say that status, so let's search for status here. Status is new, so it hasn't changed. New, it hasn't been advanced. So here I could notify the user or send an email. So this is one way, a fun way that I showed you how how we can combine a calculated field with automation to have an advanced level of triggers. But we could have done the same trigger just by simply going to the publish date, and I could have say here set date, so 7 days before the publication date, automatically sent a notification it hasn't started. But the first way would have allowed us to do it in in function to the duration. So if some tasks could be 2 days long, some others could be 2 weeks, so it really depends. So this is the basic difference between the two ways of doing this type of reminders. Automation really here is where you can do a lot of fun stuff. Make sure that some of the tasks also can change statuses on their own without having you to intervene each time. And also to make it more interesting in terms of intervening in the right time if there is something wrong. There is lots more we can do. Is you can add your own automations. You can also add your own data structure that correspond more to your needs. There is one last thing I would like to show you, which is reports. So here we have a very simple report, which is the summary, which is the number of in-progress articles. But let's say that if I change the filters, it will give me the overall number of articles. So of course I would have to change the title here, but I can have more fun with it. So I can add, so for example, published date is greater or equal than beginning of this month. So this will be everything that is due to be published during the current month. Here's another one, status of article. So here in this case I would like to show the different statuses of the articles I have across the board. I can also add a filter like the first one. So published date is greater than or equal beginning of this month. It will have, of course, the same result, but I can do it also on the last 7 days, so it will be a little bit more interesting. Share of personas is a pie chart. You can have fun with it, but let's do another one which could be interesting. I would say, let's name it activity or the report. So who is active and who is not. And here is table type, and the function would be the count of articles. However, I would do it by writer and by status. So it will show me how much each of my writer is doing based on the different statuses. So here in this case, I would see that even that Sinan is actually more active than Shalar, since he has finished 3 articles where only 2 has been done by Shalar. But this is, just a general example. You can do much more, and with the use of filter, you can have a lot of fun. So that's it for this editorial calendar. I hope this was useful for you. Just a reminder, the editor calendar is actually useful for task management, for marketing teams, as an advanced way of using task management. Have fun with it and create whatever makes sense for your or an organization. And let me know if you have any other question or suggestions for future videos. Bye.